Okie dokie, we should be live. We should be live. Just a quick boxing discussion. Busy week in boxing, man. Obviously, we've got a good weekend coming up, as we know. We have John Real Casemiro versus Guillermo Rigondeaux, Joshua Buatsi versus Ricardo Bolotniks, and Virgil Ortiz versus Aegis Kavalauskas. So we've got some good fights this weekend. The week, that's just, this week we've had some bad news in regards to boxing. Errol Spence Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao is now off. Errol Spence Jr. apparently has a torn retina. So he's been replaced with Yordenis Ugas. So Manny Pacquiao is still fighting on the 21st of August, which is a good thing. At least I still get to see Manny Pacquiao fight. But, very disappointing that the main event has been postponed or called off, whatever. But yeah, that's boxing. We've had a lot of disappointment in recent months. And to me personally, that was the biggest blow as a boxing fan. Like, to tell you the truth, I wasn't that bothered when Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua weren't going to fight. For whatever reason, I didn't really care as much as I probably should. But Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence Jr. being called off really pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. It really pissed me off. Let me get onto StreamYard. I'm on the wrong fucking tab. But yeah, big up to Levi Khan, Ian Ward, Mr. Doc, Jim McDonald, and of course, Fight Film. And by the way, check out Fight Film if you've not checked out his channel. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. One of those people who is, in my opinion, wasted on boxing. But yeah, great channel. Big up to Fight Film. But yeah, at least Manny Pacquiao's still fighting. That's the main thing. It's got to that stage of Manny Pacquiao's career where I'm just going to enjoy him while he's still around at the end of the day. He's like the last of the Mohicans. Can't fucking talk. I'm high as fuck, by the way, so apologies. But the last of the Mohicans. I'll get it out in the end. But yeah, Manny Pacquiao's still fighting, 21st of August. Yordenis Ugas is a respectable top 10 welterweight. He's solid. He's decent enough. No frills, and there's no frills with his style. I'm really struggling, man. This has hit me. We'll see how we get on. But yes, I'm glad Manny's still fighting. The undercard is poor though. We've got Victor Ortiz versus Robert Guerrero in 2021. Absolutely ridiculous. But I think Manny Pacquiao is going to take care of Ugas relatively comfortably. To tell you the truth, Ugas he's a big dude, 5'9". He's a big welterweight, but he's extremely basic. He does the fundamentals well, but he's not the quickest. He's not the biggest puncher in the world. His boxing skills are adequate. If Manny Pacquiao's still got anything left, he should win this fight relatively comfortably, in my opinion. He should win it. He should win it fucking comfortably. But yeah, to me, this was a big... I was more disappointed with this news than Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua being called off, to be honest. Maybe I'm the only one, but I was looking forward to this fight more. Big up to G-Man Boxing, another good channel. Salute to G-Man every single time. Benavidez Uzcategui cancelled due to Benavidez getting COVID. Wasn't vaccinated. Such an idiot. David is his own worst enemy yet again. Well, 70% of the UK hospital, people in hospital right now with COVID in the UK, 70% have been double jabbed. So listen, man, David is a fit, young, strong dude. He'll be fine. He'll be absolutely fine. No need to get a vaccine at his age, in my opinion. Yeah, fuck boxing, exactly. Big up to Brandon Blanco in the house every single time. Pretty sure they knew about Spence's injury weeks ago. Fucking frauds. Yeah, I'm extremely. I think it comes across really suspect, man. When you look at Errol Spence Jr. in the Danny Garcia fight, if you recall, the build up to that fight, we was hearing about how great Errol Spence Jr. was looking in camp, how great he was looking in sparring, how he was on weight. Errol Spence Jr. back and better than ever. But with this camp, I've not really heard anything from Team Spence about how great he's looking. Nothing's really been coming out of camp until that sparring video where Errol Spence Jr. was basically, I wouldn't say getting beaten up, but he was getting kind of worked over by an unknown guy. So has Errol had a bad camp? Is he struggling to make weight? Has he been knocked out in sparring? I'm not sure, man, but to me, it just doesn't really add up. It doesn't really add up. I'm not saying he's faking it per se, but doesn't really add up to me. And Manny Pacquiao was getting rave reviews from training. He was looking super quick in the training footage I saw. He was looking quicker in that footage than pre-Furman fight, from what I saw. So who the fuck knows, man? Shot fighter versus shot fighter. Yeah, respect to Pacquiao. He could have fought a bum for a replacement, but he's fighting a top 5 to top 6 welterweight. Exactly. Yeah, Yordenis Ugas, he's not a bad fighter by any means. I'm not saying he's like a fucking genuine top 5 guy, but he's top 10. He's decent enough. He's decent enough. How is Bobby Guerrero still fighting? Yeah, Jesus Christ, he might be the most shot active fighter if you consider him active. Yeah, I mean, how's Victor Ortiz still fighting? Do you think anything shady is going on with Spence pulling out? Potentially, yeah. Again, I don't know for certain, but I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Do you think that Fury Joshua will not happen like Khan Brook or Calzaghe versus Froch? I think it will happen. Whether it happens when both guys are in and around their primes is another matter, but I think it will happen eventually. Just like Khan and Brook. That's going to happen this year or next year, early next year. Who the fuck cares now about Khan and Brook? That's a slap in the face of boxing fans in the UK. We was asking for that fight for basically 8-9 years. And now when both guys are shot, need a payday to retire, now they make the fight. I wouldn't pay for it. I'd steal it and stream it, but I wouldn't pay for it. Exactly. Yeah, you can still get COVID with your poison, and the PCR tests are frauds. Don't spread propaganda. Yeah. I mean, look at what Kary Mullis said about the PCR test, the guy who invented it. That's all you need to look at. Big up to Felipe. Salute to you, sir. And by the way, Kary Mullis conveniently died back in 2019 before all of this happened. Who the fuck knows, though? Yeah, but big up to Felipe. No, I know. It's all up for debate in here, man. It's all up for debate. You can say what you want. Too much fishy stuff with that Spence injury. The WBA not reinstating Pacquiao, Ugas opponent having the same injury as Spence, etc. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao's fighting for his belt again. Errol, got cold feet. I think if Spence wanted to pull out, would have been easier to say he has Verona. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm just being a harsh cunt, but I don't know, man. Manny's fighting to win his own belt back. Boxing is a joke, yeah. I mean, look at Leo Santa Cruz at featherweight, for example. He's not fought in that division for what, just over 2 years, whatever it is. And that guy's still not been stripped of that title. It's crazy. It's crazy. Evening Dell, does Ugas beat everyone's favourite welterweight yardstick, Avanesian? I have Ugas ahead of him, but not by much. Yeah, it's a competitive fight. I would say it's similar to Abel Ramos. If you saw Abel Ramos versus Ugas, I would say it'd be similar. Pretty competitive fight. Go to points. I wouldn't watch Khan versus Brook if it was in my bathtub. Yeah, I'd stream it, bro, but I'm not going to pay for it. I don't pay for much these days, to tell you the truth. I forgot the last fight I paid for. I'm not counting times when I've watched boxing with my friends. We buy the pay-per-view and get some beers in. But the last time I purchased a pay-per-view, when I've watched it on my own, Jesus. No, it was Taylor Ramirez. I actually paid for that, but I don't pay for many. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to watch two old bums fighting, Guerrero and Ortiz, although they should have fought 10 years ago. At least it's better than watching women's boxing. Facts. Yeah, G-Man is very positive. Salute to Recognize the Matrix, another really good dude, man. Part of the BDA family. Recognize occasionally does some live streams on his channel, so if you want to check him out, I always enjoy his content, man. So big up to Recognize as well. That's it. That's it, Levi. You've nailed it. Living legend facts. Listen, man, it is what it is. I'd rather be. Listen, I've got my vaccine. I'm fit. I'm healthy. My BMI is perfect. 6'1", 168. I'm a super middleweight. I'm good, man. I'm good. I look younger than everyone I fucking know. I'm 27 years old. Look 20. I'm doing good, bruv. I'm doing good. I'm vaccinated already by being relatively healthy, even though that's somewhat of a lie. You know, saying this like half baked, but you know, it is what it is. I've got a strange feeling Mayweather is involved in all of this. Pacquiao versus Spence is not happening. I'm not sure, man. All I'm saying is, you know, it just seems extremely fishy to me. Yeah, people don't even know who Kerry Mullis is or Klaus Schwab. Trust the process. Yes, sir. You alone nothing can be happy, James. You alone nothing can be happy. Don't forget that. Yeah, I used to be glass half full, to be honest with you. I guarantee you, yeah, 2 years' time, G-Man's going to be as cynical as me. He'll be as cynical as me. No better example of boxing in 2021 than Gabriel Mastre versus Mikael Fox. How was this for a title anyway? Yeah, I know, that whole situation was fucking crazy. But, you know, the WBA basically sponsor Venezuelan boxing from the amateur scene, and they've helped out certain pros. So it's not a surprise. It's really not a surprise. It is what it is, man. Sanctioning bodies are in bed with fighters, promoters, networks. It is what it is. I'm not surprised at all. Nah, Kavalauskas will give it a good go, as we say in the UK. He'll be brave, you know, but he'll get knocked out. He'll get knocked out. The last fight I paid for was Manny versus Hatton in 2009. Jesus. Yep, I really think Pacquiao has to leave no doubt versus Ugas. If not, he'll get dropped on the scorecards. Wouldn't be surprised, bro. I was thinking that as well, recognised, because I believe Manny Pacquiao signed a free-fight deal with the PBC, right? He's fought Broner, he's fought Furman, he was supposed to fight Spence, that fell through, now he's fighting Ugas. Maybe they never wanted to work with Manny Pacquiao, and now they're priming him up to get fucking robbed against Ugas, and then Spence fights Ugas. Who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows? What's going to happen with that? Because after this, Manny Pacquiao's a free agent, from what I understand. Big up to official. Yeah, the BDA family are really good, man. I followed their show since... When was it? I want to say back end of 2017, early 2018. I've been following BDA. Really good show, though. Dell isn't ropey yet. No, I'm a little bit on cloud nine right now. You know, this fucking blunt's gone out, so... But you know, I don't smoke often. I don't smoke often, so why not enjoy myself on this fine Thursday evening? And again, I didn't even fucking pay for it. Some girl gave me it, so I'm not losing anything. Yeah, exactly. Fight Yildirim. Yeah, G-Man will rip his jeans to shreds if he gets fucking cynical. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Schwab writes the book The Great Reset, and yet if you mentioned it, it's conspiracy facts. Yeah. Yeah, the WBA are very connected with Venezuela. Gilberto Mendoza, like he's gone on record saying he's helped out Jorge Linares personally, and he sponsors basically Venezuelan amateur boxing, or the WBA do at least. Yeah. In 2 years, everybody realizes that boxing is a stage show most of the time. Yeah, man. Though, how do you rate the four major sanctioning bodies in terms of credibility? I would say IBF #1, and the rest, take your pick. Yeah, Panama, yeah. Thoughts on Boatsi's career? They realised he wasn't about it a long time ago. Now he's chilling off the hype train completely. Yeah. The Boatsi one's a weird one because when he turned pro, I think he was the most highly hyped fighter out of the 2016 Olympian squad in the UK. A lot was expected of him. And I do like his style. He's good to watch. And I think he's decent, but it feels like with Joshua Boatsi, they're hiding something, whether it's his chin, his stamina. You know, I mean, I heard rumours that they never wanted the Callum Johnson fight. For example, I heard that fight was, they was never really keen on that fight. So I'm not really sure what to make of Boatsi right now. Bolotniks is a step in the right direction. Bolotniks is coming off some really good form. So I think that's a decent step up. But after this, man, he can't afford to take any steps back. Yeah, exactly. But I read that she was like in a relationship with somebody in the WBA or like related or something like that. Last fight I paid for was Dillian White versus Povetkin 1. Interesting. Did I pay for that? No, I streamed that. I streamed it. Yeah, the WBA also sponsors Latin American boxers like from Argentina, Panama, Venezuela, Colombia, Nicaragua. Yep. It'd be nice to see Nordic, like a final sort of homecoming fight in the Philippines. Yeah, that'd be massive. Girl Scout cookies, bro. Your thoughts on Jazza Dickens' corner team? He took far too much punishment last weekend. Crazy tough bastard. Listen, man, I get what people are saying, but it's a world title fight. It's a world title fight. You got to let the guy exhaust all his opportunities before you pull him out. It's a once in a, you know what I mean? It's his last chance. So let him stay in there for a little while. You know, this is boxing after all. It's a brutal sport, you know? So I personally didn't really have a big problem with it, if I'm being honest. But taking him out for the last round, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, let him go in there for a while, see what he can do. But I didn't really have a problem with it. What's up, Del Boy? Sorry, I guess Plant really is just a belt holder. Does anybody know him in the UK? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Big up to Mad Chad in the house. Yeah, exactly. Venezuelan and Panamanian fighters always have high WBA rankings. Boatsi's the light heavyweight Anthony Joshua. I don't know, man. I think Boatsi's all right. He's not a bad fighter, but I think they're hiding something with Boatsi. I really do. I think they're hiding something. No, I don't think so. I think Bolotniks could actually take him rounds and make it tough, but I don't think Bolotniks really has the power to win that fight. He's strong. He'll keep on coming forwards, but I don't think he's got the power. Guillermo Jones had a WBA belt for ages without fighting. He's from Panama, indeed. Yeah, I heard something like that, G-Man. I heard something like that. Yeah. I've heard rumours that Boatsi's chin is terrible. Heard a few say it. I've heard similar things, G-Man. I've heard similar things. But again, we don't really know until we see it in person. So it's all hearsay, really. But I've heard a few things in regards to Boatsi not taking certain fights or his team not being willing to take certain fights. And also that guy's on over 100 grand every single fight. So if you're Joshua Boatsi and you can fight the likes of the last guy he fought, who was a complete scrub for over 100K, why wouldn't you fight that sort of guy for a while without stepping up? It's a good living, isn't it? Yeah, WBA, yeah, they are a joke. I'm not sure where he is, to be honest. I'm not sure where he is. He was supposed to fight Sergio Garcia. James, he was supposed to fight Sergio Garcia, but there's been no mention of that fight. Will Scott Madman Fitzgerald ever fight again? Liam Smith took his place versus Fowler on October 9th. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. I was saying this the other night. Scott Fitzgerald is a head case, basically. He is He's not in a good way, Scott Fitzgerald. So listen, he'll fight again, in my opinion, and he'll come back and lose. He's not going to push on. He's not going to push on. I think he's done, to be honest. Scott Fitzgerald, I think he's done. Yeah, exactly. Interview people on the street and ask them if they know Caleb Plant. It will be a resounding no from everybody. Do you think Usyk can stop Joshua? Yeah, late on. I think he can, yeah. Accumulation late on. I believe so, yeah. I think this is the first decent puncher Buatsi has faced. He's never faced anyone with even a decent KO record. That is true. Yeah, Bolotnik's, I wouldn't describe Bolotnik's as like a one-punch knockout artist, but he hits hard enough, but he's still not a massive puncher. He's more he's more accumulation type of thing. Like he'll get on top of you and really make you work and wear you out, but he's not a massive puncher. Dimitri Bivol versus David Benavidez at 168. Great content, bro. At 168, I would need to see Bivol fight first, to be honest. I've got no idea what the guy can do at 168. He says he can make the weight, but like him saying that and him doing it are two completely different things. So I'd want to see Bivol fight at that weight first against a tune-up. But let's say, for example, he's exactly how he is right now. I'd probably take Bivol in a really competitive points decision. It'll be a good fight, though. People in Nashville, his hometown, don't even know who Plant is. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's amazing how Pacquiao has fought all of the best opponents at welterweight in two respective eras. De La Hoya, Cotto, Bradley, Marquez, Clottey, and Furman. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. I hope Fitzgerald never fights again. I like him, but he's in a bad way. For his own sake, he should not be boxing. I agree. I was surprised they sanctioned him when he came back, G-Man, because he looked so off in that fight week. He looked so off. He looked different. He sounded different. Something was definitely up. Yeah, at least he beat Fowler, yeah. Hopefully Liam Smith can finish the job, Nordic. And by the way, that's a good fight, actually. That is a good fight. That's the sort of domestic fight I want on the zone. Like Liam Smith, Anthony Fowler, that's a good domestic fight. It's going to be a fun tear-up. Why not, man? It's going to be a good one. I think Liam Smith should win, but it's really down to what Liam has left. If Liam has anything in the tank and he's got one more big performance, he should win that fight, in my opinion. But Anthony Fowler is bigger. He does hit hard. It's a good fight. Yeah, nobody knows Slim Shady Plant outside of hardcore boxing fans. Exactly. Yeah, I can't lie. I think Pac-Man's going to get robbed against Ugas like he did against Horn and Bradley. Wouldn't surprise me, bro. Wouldn't surprise me. To be honest, this Ugas versus Pac-Man fight just seems flat. I don't care really who wins. Are you in the same boat? No, do you know what? For a late replacement, it's good. You don't really get many better late replacements than Ugas, to tell you the truth, so I don't mind it. Ugas is a solid top 10 welterweight, but I want Manny Pacquiao to win. And I've got nothing against Ugas either. He's actually quite a good follow on Twitter. But yeah, I want Manny Pacquiao to win. Plant the 8 Mile starter pack, as he would say, indeed. Yes, hit the like button, indeed, yes. Listen to what Mad Chad says, man. He's a man of wisdom, knowledge, and all around a great guy, man. And by the way, check out Mad Chad's boxing channel, man. Really good stuff. And also Nordic Warrior as well. I'm not really sure, Levi, to be honest. I think he does dabble in drug use. But his head is just all over the place, man. I'm not really sure what the gig is with Scott Fitzgerald. I like it. I do like it, Jared. So Beefy Smith versus Anthony Fowler. It's a good fight. It should be fun to watch as well. You've got Ted Cheeseman versus Troy Williamson for the British title at 154. That's going to be another really good fight as well. Like Ted is, Ted, he's always in good fights. And Troy Williamson's a puncher, so that'll be a good fight, man. It's a good little card. Beefy Smith should UD Fowler by outworking him. I don't see a stoppage either way. Neither do I, really, to be honest, Levi. I think, yeah, I'd agree. I would agree. Yeah, I wonder if Usyk can test it. See, I'm not even going to talk about that fight because if I do and I get too excited, it's going to get fucking called off. What do you think of new age boxing fans calling every card great because they don't know any better? The celebration that Smith Fowler was made was sad. Yeah, I know what you mean, bro. See, like, to me, yeah, Smith versus Fowler. To me, it's a really good domestic fight, and Cheeseman Williamson that's also a good domestic fight. But really, that's the bog standard that we should be having on these sort of main networks in the UK, both BT and DAZN. That's the sort of standard we should be getting on every single show. But the fact, like you said, it's being celebrated as something great is a bit concerning. It is a bit concerning. I get where you're coming from. No, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of superhero movies. Never been my jazz. Never been my thing. Yeah, but yeah, boxing's dying a slow death. Yeah, indeed, indeed. Nordic Warrior has a great channel. His pessimistic negativity will put a smile on your face. Yeah, Nordic man. Nordic's got away with words. There's no doubt about it. I've followed Nordic for years now, though. I'm trying to work out when I started to follow Nordic. I can't recall when it was, but it's been a long time. It's been a long, long time. Must be like 4 years, maybe 5 years. Has to be 4 years, something like that. It's been a long time. I would pick Demetrius Andrade to beat Caleb Plant at 168. Who would you pick? Probably a boring fight. Yeah, I'll definitely say it's a boring fight, but like I can't even call that fight, to be honest. Both guys are so unproven. I can't really call it. Yeah, exactly. Frank Warren was doing that every week back in the day. Smith Williams, etc. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. People are going to soon realise Usyk was the main character of the heavyweight division all of this time. We're going to find out, man, in September. Fingers crossed. Fingers and toes crossed it happens. Fuck. Poor undercard for Pacquiao versus Ugas. Mark Magioso against Julio Ceja. Yeah, tough, but neither are top guys. And the other undercard fights aren't any better. I agree, yeah. I wonder when Sky will announce their next card. I'd say they're embarrassed to go from Matchroom to Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, exactly. See, if I was Sky Sports, they have that Top Rank link up, right? I'd be looking at Top Rank to get some of these GB Olympians and basically starting from scratch, G-Man. That's what I'd be thinking. But who the fuck knows? I want to say, Nordic, I want to say it was around the time Josh Taylor fought Dave Ryan. I think it was around that time, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while, though. It's been a while. Manny Pacquiao, comprehensive UD, sort of like 9 rounds to 3 type of thing. I don't think he'll stop Ugas for whatever reason. I think he'll survive. I'm not sure, Mr. Doc. I'm not sure. I guess it's like see, it's one of those things, isn't it? You always kind of look at the other side and think it's greener, but there's a lot of problems in the UK boxing. I'll tell you what, if this next crop of GB Olympians don't do anything, we're in a bad way. We are in a bad way. Like if Ben Whittaker, Fraser Clark, Peter McGrail, Pat McCormack, if these guys don't achieve as pros, I don't really see where the talent's coming from because after Joshua, Fury both retire, what else really is there in the UK? We've got Josh Taylor, but I mean, if these GB Olympians don't perform, oh, he's back, Jesus. Oh, you're fucking joking, G-Man. You are fucking joking. Demetrius Andrade versus Jay Quigley looks to be next. Yeah, at least try to fight somebody, not a guy who quit against Turiano Johnson. You got to be trolling, G-Man. You've got to be trolling. That can't be real. That can't be fucking real. Demetrius Andrade. Oh my god, Demetrius Andrade versus fucking. I heard rumors about a long while ago. That's a horrible fight, bro. That's a horrible fight. I mean, why not? Why not fight Janibek, Alim Kanuli, who's been calling him out for a minute now? Like Alim Kanuli recently beat Rob Brandt, who's a better win than anything Jason Quigley's got. Why not fight him? He'll be cheap. He's affordable. Why not make that fight? He's highly ranked. Jay fucking Quigley, man. Jesus. Yeah, if Usyk wins the heavyweight division, we'll be dead again. Probably, bro. You know how people are going to react. Yeah, I never knew he was fighting at all, Levi. Stockport or Notts County, man. Jesus. I've not played FIFA in years, bro. The only time I play FIFA is when I go around a friend's house and we have a few drinks, play a few games, but I've not played FIFA like properly in a long while. 2016 was when Taylor fought Ryan, just for trivia. Feels like yesterday, bro. Call me crazy, but I think David Tua hit twice as hard as Deontay Wilder. Wilder's power seems overrated. I think Wilder's power is relatively genuine, but is it to the extent in which people believe? I'm not entirely sure, because look at the competition he knocked out. Look at the competition he knocked out. I mean, Wilder definitely hits hard, but David Tua with that left hook, man, could fucking ice you. Look at John Ruiz, man. He eviscerated John Ruiz. He was sinking into the canvas, old John. Manny minus 370, Ugas plus 285. It might be worth putting a little bet on Ugas in case of the robbery, or Pacquiao just gets old overnight. It might be worth it. Yeah, Ben Whitaker signed with Joshua. You think Joshua stays on Sky Sports after the Usyk fight? DAZN is very obscure at the moment. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting, James. If I was Joshua, I'd fuck Matchroom off, to be honest. I'd go my own way. Like, Joshua at this point is a big enough star to do what he wants in the UK. He doesn't need Matchroom. If I was Joshua, I'd see out my Matchroom contract and basically just play it by ear, you know? Just deal with networks direct kind of thing. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. UK boxing isn't where it needs to be. Yeah, Mr. Docman, one of the OGs of YouTube, man. Yep. I remember Taylor versus Ryan so clearly on Channel 5. I knew Taylor would be a world champion after that. Yeah, Dave Ryan was one of those guys where, like, domestically, if you weren't good enough, he'd expose you, kind of thing. Like, he was a good trial horse, Dave Allen. Dave Ryan. Fucking Dave Allen. I'll salute to Jazz 11, by the way. Big up Dell. Maloney Franco's interesting. Second fight, Maloney started well, but Franco does come on strong later in the fight. I was saying this on Twitter to somebody. Everybody seems to be picking Maloney to win the third fight, but first and foremost, people forget the first fight. Like, Franco won that fight quite clearly, to be honest. Second fight, yeah, Maloney started really well, but who knows how it would have turned out. I'm gonna go with Franco UD in the third fight. But big up to Jazz 11 for the contribution. Much appreciated. And that should be a pretty good fight in its own right, to be honest. Should be a pretty good fight. But yeah, big up to Jazz 11, man. I hope so. For 4-2-1. I hope so. Yeah, they are what they are. They are what they are, Stephen. They are just domestic shows, really. You know what I mean? Just regular domestic shows in a back garden. I mean, I've seen fights in back gardens for fucking free. Do you know what I mean? So, Christ. Yeah, game changed. Andrade versus fucking Jason Quigley. I've never rated Jason Quigley. As soon as I saw him on Golden Boy cards, never rated him at all. Indeed, horrible fight, and there's no excuse for it either, because we keep on being sold this narrative that Andrade is this avoided guy. None of the champions want to fight him. Blah blah blah. Well, Janibek wants to fight you, who's an up and comer, young contender, ranked, just beat Rob Brandt. Why the fuck not? It's an interesting fight. Who knows how good Janibek is, but at least it's intriguing. I mean, we know what's going to happen in the Jason Quigley fight. Quigley will get knocked down like 3 times. He'll stick around until the late rounds and get stopped. We know exactly what's going to happen. It's not even a fight, it's an exhibition. A fight's only a fight when you have adversity, right? And Andrade's not going to have any adversity in that fight. He's going to piss all over fucking Jason Quigley like a golden shower. It's a poor fight, man. It's a poor fight. Yeah, Andrade's daring to be great. Yeah, this GB squad looks a lot better than the Rio squad, to be fair. It does, yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, I mean, Andrade, I don't rate him as high as a lot of people do. I think he's a decent fighter, but more so in regards to his awkwardness. I don't think he's this technical marvel that people make him out to be. I don't think defensively he's all that great. But he's awkward, he's slippery, and he's got a little bit of pop when he actually sits down on his punches. But yeah, he just fights too negative for me. Too much holding, too much ducking below the waist. I just think he's an ugly fighter to watch, to tell you the truth. I feel like Usyk would actually perform better against Fury than Joshua, to be honest. Who knows, man? AJ's not a favourite. People are huffing paint. Well, I think it's an interesting fight, man. I see it as like 50-50, to be honest. Who the fuck knows, crazy? Who the fuck knows at this point? Boxing politics these days is just getting out of hand. It just seems to be going... It seems to be going like WWE. Do you know what I mean? It's just... That's what I'm saying with boxing content now. I'm going to be... Again, I might change my mind, but right now, how I'm feeling, I'm going to cover what I want to cover in a serious take. So it's like, say, for example, Manny Pacquiao, Ugas prediction, Virgil Ortiz versus Ortiz prediction. Those sort of videos... Sorry, Virgil Ortiz, Kavalauskas prediction. Those sort of videos I'll cover seriously because I'm actually interested. But other topics, I'm going to start maybe taking the piss a bit more, having a laugh. Like the Dillian White video I made the other day. Just, you know what I mean? I just can't be asked to be like, you know what I mean? Boxing these days, man, I need to spice this shit up because it's getting irritating, boxing. It's becoming really hard to cover. It's becoming really hard to cover. So, yeah, I'm going to change things up. Topics I want to talk about, I'll be serious. Other topics, maybe not so much. Big up to Pussy in the house. I like that name. We all like a bit of pussy. Yeah, at the very least, Dudu should fight Munguia, Alan Canuli, or Falcao. Exactly, yeah, exactly. My first one was FIFA 2002. Big up to L-Dog in the house. The Croatian soldier down in New Zealand. Yeah, Joshua doesn't need anyone. Manages a few fighters. Eddie Hearn is stale, yeah. I agree. The thing with Wilder is his power is in one specific punch. That set up in the lead right. AJ doesn't hit as hard with any one punch, in my opinion, but he can hit overall harder overall with both hands. Yeah, I know what you're saying. His power is more consistent across more punches. Like Wilder can't really hit hard with the uppercuts. His jab isn't really all that hard. His hooks are pretty abysmal. Whereas Joshua's power is pretty consistent across all of his punches. I get what you're saying, and I agree. And big up again to Jazz for the contribution. Kudryashov would knock out Jones now, I agree. Yeah, Kudryashov is fighting Evgeny Tishchenko coming up. That'll be a good fight. That's the sort of guy Eddie Hearn is, man. Honestly. The guy's a clown. Yeah, I saw that. He's fighting in Dubai, Anthony Sims. Number one gatekeeper, interesting one. Darnell Boone was a good one. I actually quite like Kamil Sakalowski as well at heavyweight. Johnny Rice at heavyweight as well actually is becoming a good sort of trial horse. There's a few out there, but I think Darnell Boone in recent years has to be the number one. Yeah, indeed, G-Man. Yeah, Josh Taylor went through Dave Ryan like a doorway. Yeah, very disappointing, J-Dav. Very disappointing. That'll make my $1.99 DAZN subscription worth it, to be honest. Jesus, Mike Perez is coming back. Fucking hell. I saw that actually on BoxRec. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he was a good fighter, Dave Ryan, domestically. Tough guy as well. Real tough guy. No fucking clue. He's an upgrade on JD's, but is he an upgrade on Mark Breland? I don't know, man. The whole Deontay Wilder thing, I'm just getting bored of at this point. I'm just sick of talking about it. I want that fight to happen. I want a conclusive outcome and move on. Hopefully, one of those guys retires after that fight. Whoever loses that third fight, I hope they retire. To be honest, I hope they retire. It's a hard one, Polka Dot. It's a hard one. I think Virgil Ortiz is more well-rounded right now. Better balance. I think his punch technique across the board is better. I think he's more versatile in his approach. Ennis is bigger, faster, flashier, does hit hard. But in terms of pure fundamentals, I would say Virgil Ortiz is a bit better. But who the fuck knows? Maybe Ennis's size actually carries him through. I'm not sure. But again, that's a super fight, right? Listen, man, in like an ideal world, these guys should be fighting each other right now. Two young contenders on the come up. This is the sort of fight we should be having in boxing. Virgil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis, like an eliminator kind of thing. The two young bucks going at it to fight a champion. That's how boxing should fucking work. But no, these guys are going to be, kept away from each other. And more than likely, they'll never fight. More than likely, they'll never fight. How about that? I remember watching Dave Ryan against Kevin McCauley, and the crowd went mental at the decision. Ryan appeared to clearly win, and the ref gave it to McCauley. Clinton Mitchell was raging, yeah. I quite like Clinton Mitchell, to be honest. I quite like him. Dillian White would get iced by Hrgovic. Yeah, I think he'll get beaten down, to be honest. I think he'll get bludgeoned, like a slow beatdown kind of thing. I think he'll stick around for a few rounds and just get fucking beat down. But yeah, Hrgovic again. Where's Hrgovic's fight? The whole IBF rankings duck him. I mean, at least keep this guy active in the meantime. Like Hrgovic, it feels like they're freezing Hrgovic out deliberately, man. Well, they are. The top 15 are, but even the promoters, Sauerland, Eddie Hearn. Why not get this guy a fight? Even a 10-rounder against a fucking journeyman. Keep the guy active. Keep him in people's minds. Yeah, I like the card, Nathan. I think it's a good card. Andrade is overrated, has a criminal record with gun charges, isn't popular, no drawing power. He's just begging for a payday, as Canelo would say. Yeah, you want payday? You're a horrible fighter. I agree, Alex. I agree. I think Felix Cash would smash him up. Yeah, Hrgovic is the most avoided heavyweight of all time. I wouldn't go that far, but he's definitely he's definitely the most avoided right now. I mean, basically, like 12 of the top 15 ducked him. What's Hrgovic ranked? Number 3 right now, and basically all of the guys below him ducked him, essentially. L-Dog, man. I think Ben Whittaker will be the best of the GB squad turning pro. He's got good technical ability plus athleticism. I do think he'll do well, though. He kind of reminds me of James DeGale a little bit. He's a little bit like James DeGale. Pat McCormack, I think, is going to be another Josh Kelly. I can see it right now. No, I don't think so, Ian. I don't think so. I think David Hay is just cashing out again against that Joe Fournier dude. If there's a pound note to be made, David Hay will be there, but I don't think he'll go as far as fighting Chisora, to tell you the truth. Yes, big up to Soldier Boy 911. Salute to you, sir, from Philadelphia. I still need to go to America, man. Still need to go. It's always crazy to me when people like comment from like random like locations. It's always crazy to me. Yeah, it's a poor fight, man. Like Andrade, like I remember Andrade on ESPN years ago. This was like 10, 11 years ago when he was on the come up, and I was really impressed back then. He was knocking guys out. He was looking good. He became a world champion at 154. And to me, his last like real impressive performance was against, what was his name, Willie Nelson. Like Andrade looked really good in that fight. He beat him up, but Andrade's career has just been too stop-start. He's never really had that big step up. And to me, it just feels like his time has passed him by already, to be honest. You can't make up for these lost years when you've done nothing in boxing. It doesn't work like that. You've got to be active when you're in your prime. You've got to be fighting top competition to get better. Andrade's not really done that. I don't think he's really improved in the last few years. In fact, I'd say Andrade's got worse. I mean, to me, the 2016 Andrade who beat Willie Nelson looked a better fighter. He looked a better fighter. So I'm not sure about Andrade at all. Yeah, early on against Williams, if he kept that level of skill and aggression, Andrade would be legit. I agree. I would say Casemiro, stoppage, sort of late rounds, I would say. Late round stoppage. I think Rigondeaux now, his legs basically have gone. I don't think he's got the movement he once had. I don't believe he's got the reflexes he once had. And Casemiro's a guy who likes to come forwards, attack at angles. He throws a lot of punches with power. I just think he'll overwhelm Rigondeaux at this stage. Rigondeaux has a puncher's chance. He's got great timing in that left hand, and he's really quick with it. If he catches you, he can definitely hurt you, and he can definitely hurt Casemiro. But Rigondeaux's got a puncher's chance, but I think Casemiro should win at this stage. It's a good fight, though. Yeah, exactly. Nordic, yeah. Yeah, again, I've got no interest whatsoever in that fight, Levi. Yeah, no interest whatsoever. Jake Paul, man. Big up to Duck. Exactly. When you're struggling against Shane Mosley Jr., you know you're in trouble. You're in trouble at that point, aren't you? Let's be honest. Yeah. Leharaga's always good fun, Alex. Leharaga's always good fun. Make a video annoying Errol Spence fanboys. That's a good shout. They seem rather touchy, Errol Spence fanboys, don't they? They seem rather touchy. Bless them. Bless their little cotton socks. Yeah. Yeah, breaking news. I've done that a couple of times, I'm not going to lie. Doesn't really work, though, to tell you the truth. Doesn't really work. Not really, anyway. Yeah, smash the like. Smash the like, indeed. They'll probably try and blame it on Manny Pacquiao, man. You know how it is. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is the Hunter Biden of boxing. That guy is such a fucking degenerate. I'm sure that guy's got learning difficulties, or he's got something wrong with him. Honestly, he must be like. I'm not going to say it, man. I'll probably get cancelled, but there's something wrong with that guy mentally. Chavez Jr. He's like Peter Pan. He's like that guy who never like grew up, kind of thing. He's such a weirdo, Chavez Jr. Such a weirdo. Yeah, lots of fights this weekend. Rigondeaux Casemiro, Ortiz Kavalauskas. Yep, and a top rank card as well. Yeah, some good fights this weekend. Oh yeah, Kudryashov is one of those you would describe him as like he is the typical glass cannon. He'll either knock you out or get knocked out. Having said that, his last fight with Romanov, he went the distance. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't fucking believe it. Couldn't believe it, man. I thought that guy was going to get fucking flattened in that fight. I think so. I think so, Crazy D3. In fact, at this point, the car crash, inactivity, he's on the wrong side of 30 now. Another injury, allegedly. He's not going to get any better, put it that way. I think he's peaked, yeah. I don't believe he's going to get any better. Facts. Yeah, no interest in that fight whatsoever, Nathan. No interest whatsoever. You know, is what it is. Virial Simeon is a journeyman at this point. Yeah, is what it is. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Darnell Boone's got a win over Adonis Stevenson. A draw against Sergey Kovalev as well, I believe. Did he draw against Kovalev? No, he didn't. It was a loss. It was a majority decision loss, I think it was, or a split decision. Yeah, Duradola, another great gatekeeper at cruiserweight, indeed. Duradola always comes to bring it. Yeah. Yeah, Conor Benn's a weird one, JDav. Conor Benn went from I wouldn't say being hated, but a lot of people were very skeptical on Conor Benn on the come up. You know, basically just a product of nepotism. A lot of people were very critical. Then he won fans over after after Formella and Sammy Vargas, but now he's gone back in the opposite direction. He's so fucking cringe. Like he's a walking, talking soundbite. Conor Benn, he's a walking, talking soundbite. Like the way the guy talks, you would think he's like undisputed welterweight champion. The guy's got a long way to go, man, and he doesn't even want to fight David Avanesian. So yeah, Conor Benn needs to calm down a little bit. He needs to calm down. Yeah, he was one of those guys, Darnell Boone. Like, let's say for example, he got a big promoter backing him early on. He would have been his record would look a lot different. Put it that way. His record would look a lot different if he got like a big promoter backing him early on. He's one of those guys. Cassius Chaney back in action this weekend against Shaundell Winters. Yeah, Cassius Chaney sucks though, so you never know. He's not very good at all, Cassius Chaney. Yeah, I don't care about. I don't care about Wilder and Fury. I care more about AJ, Usyk, Hrgovic, Chisora, White, Parker, Ajagba, Yoka, etc. Yeah, I'm just struggling with the heavyweight division in general, man. To be honest with you, I'm struggling in general. I'd rather fucking watch guys like Yoka, Hrgovic, Makhmudov. They are indeed, man. They are indeed. Philippe Hrgovic is being frozen out like the real boogeyman. I mean, Luis Ortiz, that fucking old cunt. Luis Ortiz, man. My man looks like he smells of dust at this stage. Like he's so fucking old, yeah. Calls himself a boogeyman, like Michael Myers. But he could have fought fucking Philippe Hrgovic because the IBF went down the rankings asking who would fight Hrgovic in an eliminator, and all of those guys turned down, including Luis Ortiz. So Luis Ortiz's old ass can fucking get fucked as far as I'm concerned. That guy probably smells of Old Spice, the old fucking cunt. Fuck Luis Ortiz, man. Honestly. Luis Ortiz, man. Jesus. Exactly. That's the key point right here. Who cares if Malik Scott's an upgrade? It doesn't really matter if Wilder doesn't listen. Exactly. Exactly. Do you know what? I would take it though, L-Dog. I would take it. At least you know Johnny Rice will come to fight. He'll last a few rounds. It's a good workout. Hrgovic will beat him, and he'll beat him well as well. But it's a good workout. Why not keep Hrgovic active with that sort of fight? Why not? 10-rounder. You're not going to have to pay Hrgovic $1 million. Just keep the guy active on an undercard. Do you know what I mean? Like Dave Allen got fucking 10 pay-per-view cards. The least you can do is give Hrgovic a fucking tune-up fight. It's a joke, man. Haitian sensation. He's not messing around. He's not messing around. Vladimir Serenko's fighting Alexander Ustinov next on the Tishchenko Kudryashov card. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, that's the thing, L-Dog. He'll need to be moved quick, Yafai. He's got a good pro style, though. I will say that. He does have a good pro style, and he should be exciting. He's aggressive. So he might be all right, Yafai. He might be all right. He'll be good fun to watch. I can say that much. If Hrgovic can't get in the elimination fight, might as well make him mandatory. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're supposed to fight an eliminator and none of the top 15 want to fight you, then surely you get the mandatory by forfeit. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The same thing happened to Beterbiev a while back. I think it was when he was champion, basically the whole top 15 ducked him. That was a couple of years back. That's a good fight as well. Yeah, Conway versus Metcalf. Metcalf got dragged into Cheeseman's plan. Conway doesn't have much the experience to do that. Metcalf should win. That's a good fight, though. I think I would agree, though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Willie Nelson, Andrade against Willie Nelson was a masterclass. He looked amazing. Never been as good since. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's one of his career highlights. Why would David Haye go in there again to get knocked out? But, does David Haye have much shame if there's a pound note involved? I don't think it will happen, but stranger things have happened in boxing. I don't think it will happen, though. Pacquiao's going to kill Ugas and become the oldest welterweight champion. I think it will happen, bro. I think it will happen. It's definitely a good fight. Yeah, it's definitely a good fight. But you're right. Like, James Metcalf isn't exactly young either. He's 32, 33 years old. So it'd be an interesting fight. Interesting fight. Andrade, almost 34, never had a real big fight. Is he that old? I thought he was like 31, 32. Yeah, he's 33 years old. 34 in February. Jesus. You're right, man. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Casemiro made Daenerys look like a sad old simp. Yeah, that was an embarrassing situation. That whole situation pissed me off, man. Daenerys fucked up. Daenerys fucked up. As much as like people like Daenerys, and as much as he's done, it was his fault that fight fell through. At the end of the day, the whole drug testing thing was a fucking joke in itself. But you know, him giving that reason, oh, you disrespected my wife, so I'm not going to fight you, bro. If somebody disrespected my girl, yeah, and I could legally knock him out cold, I would do it. Like Daenerys a fucking pussyhole for that. And also the whole VADA thing pissed me off as well. Like Daenerys insisting that VADA 24/7 being used. I mean, again, if people can't see a problem with that, I don't know what to tell people. It should never be down to an individual fighter what testing agencies used for a fight. It should be that should be dictated by an independent body who's not affiliated with any fighter. The fact one single fighter can dictate what drug testing agency is used is a fucking problem. And if people can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, fuck Daenerys, man. Honestly, fuck Daenerys right now. Great fighter, great career, but he fucked that up. Yeah, exactly. XMB 45. Rigondeaux used to be one of the kings of winning rounds, but since Lomachenko, he's been down on the cards before getting knockouts. Yeah, the Julio Ceja fight, even the Laborio Solis fight, he went the distance, but it was close. Top 5 UK boxers at the moment or US boxers? That's a hard one. UK boxers, do you mean top 5 as in top 5 best or top 5 as in top 5 I like? But UK top 5 best, Josh Taylor number 1, Fury Joshua number 2 and 3, however you want to put them. Lawrence Okoli number 4, Sonny Edwards number 5. Shakur and Herring sold out. They could have fought in the True State Arena, where they're both from. Exactly, XMB 45. But that's the same with most fanboys, where it could be any fighter. You can praise these guys in loads of videos, and you make one video where you're critical, you're a hater, you're this, you're that. And I've praised Spence in the past. I actually think he's a good fighter, and I like watching him fight. But right now, Errol Spence, what's there to be a fan of? He's out here drinking and driving, getting in car crashes, not fighting regularly, now getting injured, and now pulling out in the biggest fight of his career. What's there to like about Errol Spence Jr. right now? Honestly. At the end of the day, you've got to see these guys as products. Yeah, we're consumers, and Errol Spence Jr. as a product he's not delivering for me as a boxing fan. Simple as that. Yeah, he's a clown. He's a clown. Yeah, a simple, dopey, stoner, rich kid. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, imagine if what's his name? That Fournier guy beats him. Yeah, what's his name? James Fournier, Chris Fournier, whatever his name is. Imagine if Fournier beats him. Yeah, good fight. Maybe not stylistically, but it'll be interesting that fight. You'll find a lot more out about Shakur in that fight. Friend, come China. You come Hong Kong. We discuss boxing politics together in Kowloon, yes? Yes, come Hong Kong. I show you Asian Girl Massage Center. Ha, peace. Exactly, yeah. Sad thing about Spence, no crash and lives clean. He might peak now. Exactly, yeah. See, I remember watching that fight, but I can't remember it, to be honest with you, Alex Black, if that makes sense. I watched it, but I can't remember it. Spence doesn't look like a savage now, does he? The little pirate. Yeah. David Hayes 6.0 returns against his mate. What a complete farce. Exactly, L-Dog. Yeah, Ben isn't better than Stanionis, Zayas, Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis, Rashidi Ellis, etc. I'm not sure about Rashidi Ellis, to be honest. I think that guy's crap, if I'm being honest. But the rest of those guys, I agree. He's right, though, man. I agree with Roy Keane. I could give a fuck less about both guys right now. The Joshua fight, I care about, and Usyk. But until that happens, fuck those guys. It's hard to say. He was decent. He was decent, but he was overblown. Luis Ortiz. Great fight that is, Duck. That's a great fight. I might lean towards I might lean towards Butayev, actually. I think Butayev's body game is really good. He's a great body puncher. I might lean towards Butayev. That'd be a great fucking fight, though. That'd be a war. Absolute war. Yeah, Abel Ramos would be a good opponent for Stanionis, or someone like Josecito Lopez, both rugged guys. Exactly, I agree. Decent fight. Jamal James against Boots Ennis, decent. Well, I thought that, Nathan, but that's what was supposed to happen from the WBA, but you can't count on them, so who knows? Vitaly Klitschko, Riddick Bowe, I would say Vitaly on points, to be honest. I think Riddick would be very competitive in the first half, but his gas tank over 12, in my opinion, would probably let him down. I would say Vitaly on points. Yeah, Abel Ramos hurt Ugas, no doubt. And he's a good watch as well, Abel Ramos. He's good to watch. He'll always come to fight. Hits hard. Some geezer went past on a fucking pizza bike by sounds of it. Jesus. Yeah, who'd have thought we'd got Victor Ortiz and Robert Guerrero in 2021? Wish they could have just dug out Brandon Rios from the grave instead to fight Guerrero. Yeah, it's like they got a time machine and took us back to 2011. Dark says Butayev KO Stanionis. I think he'll win on. I think he'll beat him, but I'm not sure how. Yeah, Donaire simped. Indeed, he did. And can I also say, to me, Rachel Donaire, don't get me wrong, good looking girl, but overrated. Like, do you know what I mean? I find her overrated personally, but there you go. Yeah, I like Donaire, but that's a weak excuse. Exactly. I like Donaire. I've not had a bad word to say about Donaire for years, but that was bullshit. J Dav randomly watched Warrington Lara earlier. Lara's incredibly crude, so the lesbian social worker can win a rematch, I think. Yeah, I might do a prediction video for that fight at some point. That would have been hilarious. That would have been a great fight, Alex Black. Eggington versus Rios, yeah. Brain damage written all over it. It's exactly what you want to see. Two C-level guys going at it. Exactly, Nathan. Yeah, guys like Abel Ramos deserve their respect, similar to Josecito Lopez. Despite having their losses, they always come to win as B-side guys. Both are real throwback type fighters. I agree. Boxing needs those sort of guys. Yeah, it was sad to see from Donaire, especially a guy like Donaire. You know what I mean? Especially Donaire. It was really sad. Yeah, Kid Galahad's got some very good skills. Great switch hitter, great distance control, really good counter puncher. He can fight on the inside. He's got a good chin by looks of it as well. Good defensively. Galahad is really well rounded. He's a good fighter, Galahad. He is a good fighter. Galahad can beat anybody at 126. I'll tell you what, he'll give everyone a hard fight. I wouldn't I wouldn't confidently pick him over Navarrete or even Gary Russell, but he's got a good chance in those fights. I'll say that. He's a good fighter. Big up to Cone, the fake Cone, or the not fake Cone. Yeah, Dalton Smith is a good prospect, actually. He is a good prospect, yeah. He looks good. I can imagine Hay falling over on his way to the ring and entering with his arms and legs broken like Mr. Glass from Unbreakable. Yeah, I don't rate Rashidi Ellis at all. Duck. I don't rate him. I actually think Conor Benn could beat him, to be honest. Yeah, Casemiro's fucking hilarious, Haitian sensation. Like, when you think of Filipino fighters, you always think of guys like Manny Pacquiao, like super humble, super respectful. But Casemiro's got no filter whatsoever, man. That guy will say anything. He's hilarious. He's hilarious, man. Yeah, I'm not sold on Ellis at all. Rayford Reese Bellotti could be a sleeper fight this weekend. Rayford should win that fight relatively comfortably. I know he drew his last fight, but Reese Bellotti really is not any great shakes. I think Rayford should win that fight comfortably, to be honest. Rachel has the strap on ready for Benito. Fuck's sake. Am I the only one, though, who doesn't really find her all that hot? Like, she's hot, but, like, not that hot. Yeah, 2011 was a great year in boxing. And in general, man, life in general was so much easier. I was 17 years old, fresh-faced. All I cared about really was, you know, partying, girls, and that's really it, to be honest. College. 2011 was simpler times, man. I'm out here feeling washed in 2021. Who knows, man? You could be right. You could be right, Nordic. You could be right. I think it's winnable for Warrington. I think it's winnable. Like the first fight, I just think he was too like I think he was treating it like it was a tune-up, to be honest. And he didn't really realize what he was getting in with. Like if you watch that fight and you watch Warrington, he would actually start the exchanges, and the first few punches he would get the better of it, but he would stay there too long, and then Lara would throw back. That's when Warrington got in trouble. So in this rematch, I think Warrington just needs to be fighting in like an in and out type style, keep on making Lara reset. I think he can do that and win this fight on points, but it's whether Warrington is disciplined enough to do that. But I think it's winnable. It'll be a good fight. It'll be a good fight. Or what's next for Gassiev? Maybe someone like Christian Hammer, a guy who can go rounds, I would say. Somebody along those lines. But he just needs to really stay active, Gassiev. I still believe he can do something at heavyweight personally, but we shall see. Yes, big up to John Gonzalez. Every single time. Yeah, Navarrete's the guy who I think he'd be the hardest fight. L-Dog, yeah, I think he'll be the hardest fight. As you said, unorthodox, powerful, yeah. High volume, great work rate, yeah. That'd be a good fight, though. Because Kid Galahad, he's a strong dude. And when a guy tries to get rough, he can tie him up and actually get rough himself. I don't think he can really do that against Navarrete. Navarrete is very strong, so it'd be a good fight, though. It'd be a good fight. Nathan's rating Rachel Danair as his fight film. I'm not saying she's like hideous. I definitely would, but I'm just not as sold as some people are. But you know, my taste is questionable, you could say, I guess. But I would say Straffon late stoppage. Good fight though. Yeah, Gassiev Pulev makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, that's the sort of fight he needs. A guy who can take him some rounds, legit heavyweight, a guy who's been a contender. That's the sort of fight he needs. I just Googled Rachel Danair, remained flaccid throughout. It's a horrible thing, man. It's a horrible thing. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Do you know what? I think I'm shot to bits. I think I'm washed because I'm fucking knackered. It's 9:30 in the UK. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to have an early night. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Just a quick little one. Hopefully you enjoy the fights this weekend. Have a good weekend and yeah, stay safe. Avoid those needles, you know. You don't want a little prick. So stay safe, guys. Peace.